3 at home since joining the Broncos. What do you like about playing in Denver?
Well, our fans have, been great throughout the time that I've been here. They've been great this season. I think they cause problems for other teams, and players just feed off that energy when you're playing at home. There's no question about that. Our offense and defensive guys, get fired up when the crowd gets into it, on third downs, and certainly, after a touchdown, I think we're just able to feed off that energy from the crowd. I think that makes a big difference.
Peyton, can it affect the other side, Andrew Luck in this instance? Can your crowd affect the opposing quarterback?
Well, I don't know. It depends on the game, I guess. Depends on how it goes. But you want the crowd to be a factor anytime you're playing at home. Try to make communication difficult.
Is there such a thing as being too fired up at the beginning of the game? You got to try to tell guys, hey, let's keep it in check at the start?
I'm not sure about that. I think we got a lot of guys that are, someone playing in the first playoff game, and it's supposed to be exciting. It's an exciting time. That's why you worked hard in the weight room all off season. So, being excited just as long as you can still, do your job. Maintain your discipline on doing your job. But nothing wrong with playing with a lot of emotion and a lot of excitement. I think that's a healthy thing, I think.
Peyton, you were so invested in the community back in Indianapolis, and I'm sure you are here too. One person can only do so much. How do you balance yourself and investing in both communities?
Well, yeah. I live here in Denver now, and so I certainly try to. The foundation has done some things here to try to help out some of our youth here in the Colorado areas, and but like I've always done, I've always given back to the other areas that I've lived in, whether it's New Orleans areas and kind of the whole state of Tennessee where I went to school and where my wife's from, and then of course lived in Indianapolis for 14 years. But live here in Colorado now, so the majority of our foundation work is based here in Colorado, where most of the money goes. But we still give money. We had a Thanksgiving food drive there in Indianapolis. We've done that for quite some time, and so I just feel that I've had 4 communities that have had a big impact on me, and so I've tried to give back to those kind of 4 communities where I grew up, where I went to college, where I played the first part of my pro career, now where I live now.
And Andrew Luck kind of has, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he kind of has the burden of dealing with your legend in Indianapolis. What's, if any, is it like for you dealing with the comparisons of the young Andrew Luck? If at all. What is it like for you to deal with comparisons, comparisons between you two? The history, obviously, he's first overall pick in Indianapolis.
I guess if you're the first pick of the draft, you're always going to be compared to other first picks, and I guess when you play for a team, there's going to be comparisons to other quarterbacks that have played. But obviously, he's had it's an outstanding start to his career. It's not a surprise at all to me. The guy has as much talent as he has. You combine that with the kind of work ethic that you hear that he has, and the times that I've been around him, you just kind of knew he was going to do everything he could combined with his talent to be a special player. And he's had a great start. He's had an awesome year this year. It's really allowed their team to win as many games as they've had because of the way he's played combined with the way their defense has played. So. I've never thought much about comparisons, how it affects me, and I'm sure he doesn't either.
Peyton, is there a lesson to be learned when you won your Super Bowl that year? Your postseason stats didn't jump off the page. You had other years where you had big stats and you didn't win the Super Bowl. Is there anything to that or a lesson?
I guess there may be, Mike. I'm not sure I know the answer to it. So. This is 2015. We're playing Indianapolis in this divisional round, and that's kind of where the focus is on trying to do our job versus a good team. A team that's playing hot, a team playing with a lot of momentum, won 6 out of the last 7, coming off a good win against a good Cincinnati team. So we're kind of trying to do our job, and anything that's happened in the past and years past, 6, 7, 8 years ago. I'm not sure the impact that it has on this particular game.
Have there been years where you felt like you had to carry the team as you went into the postseason, and this year maybe less so because of the way the running game or defense?
Yeah, I guess I've always just tried to do my job. I know that's probably a boring answer, but yeah, I think everybody wants to do their job. Every week you play, all season you want to do your job, right? You know, Talib wants to do his job, Teddy wants to do his job. I want to do my job. And you know, when you're playing potentially the last game of you know, the season, you want to be sure you're doing your job. So that's what I've always tried to do, and that's what I'm going to try to do, you know, Sunday versus these guys.
Peyton, how big is this team's window to win a championship, given, you know, your age, the contract situations for a lot of guys, and what sort of sense of urgency does that give you?
Yeah, I can't speak to the window. I've been being asked about the window for, like, you know, 10 years, it seems like. So
It's a big window.
yeah, it has been pretty good. I think our team's played with a sense of urgency all season, to tell you the truth. I think that's how you have to play in the NFL today. You play every game, try to play fast, play with a sense of urgency, you know, whether it's a particular, you know, play you're trying to execute. And so that's been our attitude all season, play with a sense of urgency, and, you know, that's what we're going to have, you know, on Sunday, because it's helped us win a lot of games.
Peyton, the last 5 or 6 games, your numbers they're not bad. They're not what they were. Is there anything physical going on, or just, I mean, how do you feel? Why is that happening?
Yeah, I feel pretty good physically. I've like all players, have battled through some injuries. I think the bye week is you know, came at a good time for us, gave some guys a chance to get healthy. So we've tried to find different ways to win football games, and hopefully that prepares us well for. You get into these playoff games, and anything can go on. Different games take on different identities, and so, you know, you never know what it's going to be. But I think we've proven we can win games different ways, and hopefully that serves us well, you know, potentially on Sunday.
When you have this much time to prepare for a game, in some ways, can you almost prepare too much where there's paralysis by analysis?
Yeah, not really, because we didn't know who you were going to play until Sunday. So in many ways, it's been like a regular week of preparation. You know, I think you know, when you maybe play a team in the opener of the season and you know you're going to play them for, you know, 4 months, that, you know, I guess that could come into play. But we you know, didn't know who we were going to play. Of course, it depended on what happened in Pittsburgh and Baltimore and whatnot. So for the most part, it's been a pretty normal week of preparation so far, as far as getting to know these guys. And it's been a long time since we played them, right? Lots changed. We've changed. They've changed. You got some injuries. You got different things that teams are doing. So you're having to get to know a team all over again. And so we're trying to do that still. You know, try to feel like we're off to a good start and getting to know them, but still have the rest of the week to try to prepare for them.
Is it possible to overthink things and then you start second guessing yourself? Not only in your prep work, but then as the game is going on?
Yeah, I guess anything's possible, but I don't really see that being a factor, you know, for us, just because it feels like a normal week of, you know, preparation.
Peyton, you got for 2 more, please?
Peyton, you've obviously faced the Colts a couple times. It's going to be a big headline, though. Is there anything there for you in terms of facing your old team?
No. I mean, I think we've kind of covered that, right? I've been here with Denver 3 years. The 3rd time we played them, and you know, obviously 2 years ago or last year went back there to play. I understand that was kind of a unique story, but played them in this regular season. So, you know, like I said earlier, we played them in the regular season. The first game, you know, you obviously hope you do your job, but you know, you play a team like the Colts or a team like the Patriots or you know, a team like Cincinnati, you feel like there's a good chance you're going to see them possibly again in the postseason. You just know they're going to have a good year because they're a good football team. So that's kind of not a surprise at all that they're one of the teams that, you know, we might potentially play, and you know, it's going to be a great football game.
How much has their defense evolved and improved since you saw them back in week 1?
Well, yeah, it's been a long time since we played them. They're playing well. They do a great job on 3rd down, getting you off the field. Really make you go a lot of long drives. You know, McAfee has a lot to do with that, putting you in a tough field position. But they play good field position football, so teams having to go a lot of long drives, and teams don't do it very often. So they're playing well. You know, up front, linebackers in the secondary. So you know, it really does feel like quite some time since that last game.
Okay, thank you guys.
All right,
thank you, Peyton.